Sup nerds, today we have Omnimon versus Fenriloogamon Wombo combo. Ben won that Arwell, so he's going to start us off. He hatches Baumon, he was into Luga, and then plays Code Crackerfang for 4. Brandon hatches Koro, he was into Gabu. Plays Gabu, Scourges top 3. Minimum value. Adds Omni and top decks the other 2 Tamers. And then plays Agumon, Scourges top 4. Adds a dual Tamer, bot decks the rest. Then Ben goes 3 from his memory setter. Alright, Ben chooses to stay in Raising. Hard plays Tyranno for 4. Triggers effect. Scourges top 4. Unfort. Adds the Darugamon. He has to trash a card. And then trashes Code Crackerfang. Brandon draws for turn, promotes. Attempts to swing on him. Ben lets it through. He draws from Koro and dies. Swings with Gabu. Ben blocks. Dies. He goes into Greymon for 2. Blows up the Tyranno. And then Ben goes to 3 from Code Crackerfang. Alright, Ben promotes Luga. Mind links the Code Crackerfang. Plays Analog Youth for 2. Scourges top 3. Adds the Soul. Trashes the rest. Evos into Darugamon for 2. Triggers his effect. Trashes Soul to draw a card. Forces Greymon to attack at the beginning of Brandon's turn. Or beginning of his main phase. Alright, and doesn't want to do anything else. End of turn, unmind links his Code Crackerfang. Brandon hatches and then swing security with the Greymon. 6k, 1 check. Checks an analog. Ben gets some more Scourges. Adds a Lugamon. Trashes the rest. Brandon evos into Gabu and Raising. So Brandon is aware that Ben could basically just kill him at any point, even from 5 security. So it's making him play, I would say, a little scared. And if you do play scared, sometimes you tend to give your opponent too much memory because you do something because you're worried about what could happen, like if you pass turn, you know? So he's about to do something I probably wouldn't do. Alright, so he hard plays Melga for 11. Triggers the effect. Warps the Greymon into War Greymon. The War Greymon deletes the Darugamon. And then Ben's turn at 10 memory. Ben hatches Baumon. He goes into Lugamon and Raising. It's not the worst play because it does get rid of his Tama. Ben activates Analog Youth, Scourges top 3. Adds the Dex Darugamon to hand, trashes the rest. The issue is if Ben has Skull Bleach in his hand, he could still combo Brandon with all the memory that he just gave him. So Ben plays Darugamon for 5, trashes a card to draw a card. If Brandon had Omnimon into Alter B, this actually wouldn't be that bad because it would force Ben to answer that or he would just lose. Brandon does not have Alter B in his hand, but he does have Omnimon. Alright, Ben mind links. Eva's in a Soul for 3. Draws for Evo. Triggers the effect. Discards 2 cards. Tamagotchi and Tamagotchi. Doesn't delete anything, so it gets to play something back. Plays Darugamon. Doesn't trigger the effect. And then Evo's into Hell for 3. Triggers end of turn. Unmind links the Code Crackerfang. Hell deletes itself. He draws 2 cards. Gets to add Lugamon back from trash. Adds the good one. And then he can discard cards if he wants to try to pop one of the Megas on Brandon's field. Trashes Dex, Finn, and Lugamon. Blows up the Melga. And taps double Analog Youth to choke Brandon to 1. Brandon promotes. I think that was definitely a good play because Ben knows if he has Omni and Alter B and he gives him 2 memory and he doesn't out one of those Megas, he just loses. So he definitely needed to answer at least one of them. Right, Brandon swings 12k, 1 check. Draws from Koro. Activates Miraculous Mega Knight, plays Gabumon back, Scourges top 3. Adds War Greymon, top decks the rest. And then Ben's turn at 3 memory. Alright, so Ben promotes. Double mind links here. This is the best situation you could possibly be in if you're the Omnimon deck, is having a Mega out with the Miraculous Mega Knight out. So Ben swing security, trashes a card to pop one of Brandon's 3K or lower Digimon, trashes Darugamon, blows up the Gabu, draws a card because he has Aging as sources, triggers Baumon, evas into Darugamon from the trash for 2 memory, triggers Darugamon's effect, trashes Soul, draws a card, triggers Baumon, evas into Soul for 3 memory, triggers Soul, trashes 2 cards, Kazuchi and Fen, pops the Gabu, triggers Baumon again, evas into Fen for 3 memory, triggers Fen, plays Kazuchi, triggers Tamagotchi and Trash to DNA. So he minuses 16k on the Wargreymon, sets himself to 3 memory, and then he will gain 1 memory and recover a card. So there we go. Alright. And then it's Brandon's choice if he wants to trigger his Miraculous Mega Knight, assuming he has the pieces in his hand to do it for the interruptive. Ben got to resolve all of his stuff because DP rules processing can't happen in the middle of an effect resolving. So he still got to recover and gain a memory before the interruptive would actually happen. Alright, so I don't know why Brandon's thinking about this. Alright, so he pops Miraculous Mega Knight and DNA's an Omni from his hand. Bot decks the Tamagotchi and blows up the Soul. There we go. Everything goes to trash. Ben does get to trigger his analog use if he chooses to. No reason not to. Taps all 3, gains 3 memory, goes back to 1 and hatches Baumon. Eva's into Lugamon. Now, Ben also is stuck with an issue here. If Brandon has Alter B, it's lethal if he gives him more than 1 memory. But I don't think he's going to be able to play around that. Because if he Evos in Raising, he wouldn't be able to Mind Link with his Lugamon at the start of main phase. So he's just forced to give him enough memory to where if he has Alter B, it's game. Plays Tyranno, adds Fenriloogamon, and trashes whatever the hell that options card. Brandon hatches Koro, Eva's into Agu. So Brandon swing security, triggers Raid, trashes top card of security with the Wargreymon inheritable. Plays the Dual Tamer to choke Ben to 1. Ben promotes. Triggers Lugamon, start a main phase effect. Tucks Code Cracker Fang from trash for 1 memory. Seems good. Eva's into Darugamon for 2. Triggers Darugamon. Trashes Tamagotchi. Draw a card. Does force the Omnimon to attack at the beginning of Brandon's main phase, assuming this is not lethal. He swings security, 5k, 1 check. Checks Dual Tamer. Here we go, boys. Buckle up. Eva's in a Soul for 3. Triggers Soul's effects. Trashes Finn and Kazuchi. Doesn't delete anything, so he gets to play something back. Plays Darugamon. Does not trigger the effect. Triggers Bow. Eva's into Finn for 3 memory. Triggers Finn's effects. Plays Kazuchi. Triggers Tamagotchi's effects to DNA from trash. Fair and balanced. Sets his memory to 3. So here we go. Ben is actually thinking if he wants to set his memory to 3 because he needs the memory to be on Brandon's side in order to unsuspend from the Soul Luga inheritable. And he's gonna get 5 from Ace Overflow, so he's having to think here. So Brandon undoes his on deletion just to wait for Ben to think through this. So he's not gonna set the memory to 3. He is just gonna gain a memory and recover. Ace Overflow will trigger since the Omnimon is exactly 0 DP, so it would set Ben to 1 memory. Set Ben to 0 memory. Brandon triggers on deletion of the Greymon inheritable, plays Tai and Kari for free. Alright. Ben plays AG for 3, triggers the Luga inheritable to gain a memory. Swing security, trashes top of his security to trash top of Brandon's security, triggers Alliance. 2 checks at 21,000 DP. Trashes the top and 2 checks. Does check the option. Doesn't do anything. Gets to play the tie from trash. I'm sorry. Got him. Swing security, trashes top to trash the last security card, and then it's just game. So Ben does take game 1. By the way, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And if you're interested in the Omnimon deck profile, link will be in the pinned comment below. Alright, so Brandon chooses to go first for game 1, hatches Koro, plays Gabu. Very cool. Ben hatches Baumon, he was in a Luga for 0. Plays Analog for 2, Scourge's top 3. Unfort. Ben would much rather that Kazuchi just be in the trash, but whatever. He'll discard it off one of his random effects. Plays Darugamon for 5, trashes Kazuchi and draws a card. Brandon's hand is pretty bad. I probably just would have evoed that Gabu and raising, just draw an extra card. I think he expected it to die. I'd probably swing with the Gabu just to get some value out of it. Yeah, I would swing with the Gabu, play the Tamer, and then play the Miraculous Mega Knight to play the Gabu back and set Ben to 2. Assuming the Gabu dies, I mean, it's possible he could check a Tamer or something, but most likely it will. At least you get some value out of it. Right. So Brandon does play the option and then play the Tamer. Doesn't matter what order he does them in. Ben's turn at 2 memory. He promotes. Swing Security does have collision, so the Gabumon just dies for free. Ben evos into Darugamon for 2. Triggers effect, trashes, draws a card. Yeah, Brandon's hand is atrocious. He mulliganed into that hand, and it's just pretty unplayable. I mean, if he had an Omnimon, he might be in an okay spot. Ben plays Cracker Fang to pass turn. Brandon plays another Miraculous Mega Knight to play the Gabumon back. Plays War Greymon for 8. Triggers the effect, evos the Gabu into Melga for free. Draws for evo. Triggers the Melga effect to stun the Darugamon stack that has the Tom underneath it. And taps Tai and Matt to gain 2 memory. Man, what a sad hand. Ben hatches Baumon. Brandon does not have Omnimon in his hand. Very unfort. Ben evos Lugamon and raising. Ben evos into Dexterugamon for free. Triggers his mandatory effect. Trashes a card. Doesn't get to do anything else, unfortunately. Evos into Soul for 3. Triggers Soul's effect. Trashes Finn and Tyranno. Plays Tyranno back. Triggers Tyranno's effect. So if you guys will notice, Ben forgot a pretty important detail of this combo here. Trashes a card off Tyranno and then triggers Baumon's pending trigger because he discarded that Finn earlier. Evos into the Finn from trash for 3 memory. Draws for Evo. Here we go. Draws for Evo. There we go. And we have our first chat here. So Finn requires AG to be in your sources in order to play that Kazuchimon back from trash. So Ben just forgot a very important piece of this combo. So plays the Kazuchi, triggers Tamagotchi, DNAs, gains memory, and is going to minus 16k and recover. So minus a 16k on the War Greymon. He did it out of order, but whatever. Now, Ben should immediately know that Brandon doesn't have an Omnimon in his hand, because if he did, he would have been able to clear Ben's board with his delay option. So that immediately just tells him right now he doesn't have Omni in his hand. And also the 2 cards in his hand would have to be Omni and the other Mega. Alright, here we go. Swing Security. Trashes top card of Security to trash top of Brandon Security. And illegally triggers Alliance. Chet number 2 here, since he doesn't have AG in his sources. He does not have Alliance. The Kazuchi Inheritable will minus 8k on the Melga. Whatever. 2 checks. Really, really big. Survives. End of attack. Gains memory and unsuspends. So it does go to 0. Swings here with collision for 5k. The Melga is forced to block, obviously. And because it's only 3k, it just dies. And then Ben swings, trashes top, trashes 1, and then checks the other. Survives. And then Ben just hard passes. And right here, when he goes to unsuspend, I think he was like, do I want to unmind link? And he realizes he doesn't have AG in his sources, so he says, I scoop. Yep, and he explains to Brandon that he literally couldn't do most of that combo because he didn't have aging sources, so Brandon is forced to play a game 3, despite realizing how horrendous this matchup is for him if he doesn't open really, really well. So we are going to have a game 3 because Ben created an irreparable game state. Alright, Ben chooses to go first for game 3, hatches Baumon, evos into Lugamon, plays AG for 3 memory, Brandon hatches Koro, Eva's in a Gabu. Plays Ty and Matt. Chokes Ben to 1. Alright, Ben Evo's into Dex for 3 memory. Set Brandon to 2. Brandon promotes. Draws a card from Gabu. Swing on him. Draws from Koro and dies. Plays Gabu for 3. Scourges top 3. Adds War Gray and top decks the rest. Chokes Ben to 1. Ben promotes, gains memory from AG. Swing security, 6k, 1 check. Survives. Kind of a wild swing, but whatever. Evo's into Hell for 3. End of turn, triggers, deletes himself, draws 2 cards, adds Lugamon back to hand. Discards Kazuchi. Or I'm sorry, Tamagotchi. Blows up the Gabu. Brandon hatches. He needs to tap his Tyankari here to gain a memory. So we have another Chet here. That Tyankari does suspend for cost. It's not going to affect anything, but that is illegal. Brandon plays Miraculous Mega Knight, plays the Gabumon back from trash, searches top 3, adds the Melga, top decks the rest. And Evo's in a Greymon and Raising for 2. Bot decks Tyankari, draws a card, and plays Ty for free. Then Ben's turn at 2. Ben hatches Balmon. Evo's in a Luga. Plays Analog Youth, Scourges top 3. Adds Tyranno, trashes the rest. That's very good. Now if he just has his line in his hand, he can Wombo combo on his next turn. So all you need is Kazuchi and Tamagotchi in trash, and if you see your line with the soul, it's GG's. He plays Code Cracker Fang, sets Brandon to 4. Brandon promotes. Swing on him. Dies. Draws from Koro. Swing on him. Dies. So on deletion, plays another Ty and Matt for free. I probably would have hatched there. Plays Miraculous Mega Knight. Plays Gabumon back from trash. Adds Agu. Top decks the rest. Brandon says out loud, you're just completely set up. He knows the writing's on the wall. If Ben has combo, he just loses if he doesn't do something. Plays Gabu for 3, or Agu for 3. Lol. Adds War Greymon, and then Ben goes to 3. Ben promotes, gains memory from AG, and triggers Lugamon. Gains another memory, goes to 5. Yeah, if Ben has it, it's game. There's nothing Brandon's going to be able to do about it. He doesn't have a Mega on the field. So Ben says out loud he's just trying to figure out how to maximize his searches because he's missing 1 card for his combo. Hilarious that he moved the memory gauge all the way to Brandon's side at 10 memory, because that's what you can do with this deck. If you combo and give your opponent 10 memory because of the Tamagotchi effect, you still keep turn, air quotes, keep turn, and then you can still kill them. Really fair and balanced. So he plays that option card, Scourges top 3. That's what he was missing. He was missing the soul. Ben says out loud, first card. Yep. It's the G'est of G's. Alright, so Ben trashes the Darugamon off of the Demon Castle, whatever the hell, trash effect. Triggers Balmon. Eva's into it from trash for free. His trash disappeared because I'm watching this match, and I picked up his trash to see if he had combo. So he trashes Kazuchi to draw a card. Forces Agumon to attack at the beginning of Brandon's main phase, assuming he's going to get one, lol. And then swing security with collision. Brandon blocks with Agu, it dies. Evo's into Dexterugamon, trashes Tyrannomon to blow up the Gabumon. Then Evo's into Soul for 3, trigger Soul's effect. Tyranno and Finn. Triggers Soul's effect to play Tyranno. Tyranno effects Scourge's top 4. He adds the Lugamon, who cares. Now he has to trash a card. Trashes Code Crackerfang, who cares. Balmon is pending because of the Finn getting trashed earlier. Triggers that. Evo's into Finn, and then I toss the Kazuchi and the Tamagotchi on Ben's mat. Just save some time. So he DNAs, sets the memory to 3. Gains memory, recovers, swings, trashes top, triggers Alliance, 2 checks at 20k, or 21k, sorry. Checks Hair of Dragons, and Brandon draws 2 cards. Unsuspend, swing again, trash top, swing for game. So Fenriloogamon Wombo combo does take the match, but I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.